Hello everybody and welcome back once again to Let's Play Fallout 4. Now I'm a little bit miffed off, I have to admit. I recorded this session about 8 hours ago. It's now 11:15 at night. I sat down ready to edit my video and found that the commentary did not record properly. And this has happened before on a Fallout 4 session, so I'm wondering if there's an issue with the game conflicting with Sound Recorder, which is what I use to record my commentary. I don't know, but for some strange reason it hasn't recorded, so I'm doing this as after commentary, which I never like doing. Never like doing this sort of stuff, but well, it's either after commentary or no commentary, so you'll have to bear with me on this one. And I'm kind of miffed off because it was a good roleplay session as well. So I'm going to have to try and remember what I said. Anyway, it's been a while since the last session, hasn't it? But in that last session, we were at the ArcJet Systems, and we were retrieving a deep-range transmitter in company with Paladin Danse of the Brotherhood of Steel. Stumbled across some synths, which Susan wasn't best pleased with. But we did retrieve said transmitter. It was a successful mission, and we were offered a place in the Brotherhood. And after some deep thinking, some deep thought and consideration, she decided to accept the offer. Now, the reason why she's accepted the offer is not because she particularly believes in what they're doing. She doesn't have some kind of an affinity to them at this moment in time. She's only just met them. However, it's not unnoticeable that they have decent equipment, weapons and armour, seem to have some kind of a chain of command, some kind of structure, hierarchy, leadership, which is something she can relate to, Susan, as an ex-police officer. And therefore it's the best offer she's had since she woke up in that godforsaken vault. And she's going to try and use them to get to her son. Now, whilst we've been sat here in the police station waiting for Paladin Danse to come back, we have done some work with Scribe Halen, and we have upgraded some of our weapons. Lawgiver has been given a new scope. Justice has been given a scope and a slightly different receiver. Our shotgun has been upgraded also to do more damage, as has Righteous Authority. A bit of tinkering with that. So the Brotherhood already proving to be quite useful. We're also now donning Brotherhood's fatigues. We've put these on, an upgrade to our previous attire, which was the Drifter outfit that we found on the outskirts of Sanctuary. So all in all, not a bad few hours has been spent here in the Cambridge police station waiting for Paladin Danse to come back, and he's been at ArcJet wandering around looking for pieces of technology. So whilst we were waiting for him, we put ourselves to good use. And this is the type of reason that Susan has joined the Brotherhood. She's also upgraded some of her arm and leg pieces for extra protection, and also with pockets so she can carry more items. So she is upgraded, weapons and armour. Paladin Danse has finally returned, so we're going to check in with him and see, well, where we go from here. Obviously giving a bit of a briefing to his colleagues, hopefully singing Susan's praises. Not doing too shabby of a job over in ArcJet Systems, despite being horrified by those those synths.
Paladin Danse is one hell of a squad leader. I don't know what we'd do without him.
Yeah, he proved to be semi-useful. We'll give him that much. No, his weapon was good. He was taking down those synths very, very effectively, we have to admit. And here's Knight Rhys glowering at Susan.
Don't take what Knight Rhys says personally. He's like that with everyone.
Yeah, well, he better just...
Friendly warning. Step out of line and I won't hesitate to drop you.
Time to welcome our
Are we clear about
You
that?
see this? He's just
She shows a lot
he's
of
just
promise,
threatened us.
and with the proper guidance, I think she has the potential of becoming one of the best.
You hear that, Rhys, old boy? One of the best. Now, Paladin Danse announcing that we are a new recruit of the Brotherhood, and I'm sure Susan little bit, well, not shocked, but
I'd appreciate it if you said something.
perhaps trying to strive for a higher ranking?
Recruit? After all I did to help, I was expecting more.
Hey, consider yourself lucky. It took me more than a month of training before they let me run my first mission.
So you decided to stay, huh? I expected you to take your payment and run.
You'd like that, wouldn't you? Eh? Me to do a disappearing act? Think I'm stepping on your toes? Susan making further inquiries.
Are you upset that I'm staying?
Maybe. Got enough trouble stomping muties and ferals. I don't need something else to worry about.
Reese, that's enough. Like it or not, you're going to have to learn to work together. And you need to understand what it means to be a part of the Brotherhood. We're not soldiers of fortune. We're an army. And we've dedicated our lives to uphold a strict code of ethics. If you intend to stay within our ranks, you need to obey our tenets without question.
Tenets? Now, well, Susan getting a dressing down there, perhaps not used to being spoken to in such a manner for a long time, being a high-ranking officer. But, yeah, fair enough. What are these tenets?
You gonna teach me this code of ethics?
If you were paying attention in ArcJet, you should have learned some of it already. The rest will become apparent as you spend time with your fellow soldiers. Now, since I know you're eager to get started, I'll get right to the point. I only ask for two things from anyone under my command: honesty and respect. You fall in line, you stay in line. I give you an order, and you follow it. It's as simple as that. Now, before I release you to Halen and Reese for your assignments, there's one last order of business. From this moment forward, I'm granting you the rank of Initiate. This is only a training rank. I'm not permitted to grant ranks any higher than that.
Okay. Rank of Initiate. It's a starting point. Gives us access to weaponry and armour, I suppose. But Susan, asking more questions. Getting a bit of a feel for the hierarchy of the Brotherhood. Why can't you promote me to Initiate? She's asking.
Are you ignoring me for a reason?
Why can't you promote me beyond Initiate?
Only an Elder can promote you beyond Initiate. After we get the transmitter up and running, I'll call in and see what I can do.
Alright.
Fair enough.
Outstanding, soldier.
Ad Victoriam, Initiate.
She doesn't even know what that means, Halen.
Ad Victoriam means to victory. In our eyes, defeat is unacceptable, because we're fighting for the future of mankind. Our rallying cry is more powerful than any weapon you could ever carry. Remember that. Now, I need you to report to Halen or Reese for your next assignment. Dismissed, soldier.
Dismissed. So, our objective is to support the Brotherhood recon team. And having been dressed down, Susan having to just take a step back and realise that, well, things have changed. She's effectively a stranger here, and, well, in any form of organisation, you've got to start from the bottom and work your way up. But it's going to certainly take some getting used to. So Susan takes a seat and intends to speak to Scribe Halen about this so-called assignment, because, well, she's not going to speak to Reese.
Excuse me, Scribe Halen.
Reese still giving you the cold shoulder.
I can handle it.
If you could, you'd be the first. Reese bleeds Brotherhood. It's all he cares about. It's his family. It's his whole life. If anything else comes into the picture and gets in the way, he shoves it aside.
Is there something between the two of you?
When I first joined up, Reese is the one who sponsored me. He took me under his wing, showed me the ropes. I thought there was a little more between us, so I asked him if he cared about me that way. He told me the Brotherhood of Steel was all that he cared about, and there was no room for anything else in his life. We never spoke about it again. Look, I need to get back to things. If you're worried about Reese, just keep doing what you're doing. He'll come around soon enough. So, are you ready to take on your first assignment?
Take on our first assignment? Well, maybe. We'll certainly hear what it is. But again, an opportunity presents itself for Susan to do a bit more probing about the Brotherhood and its structure and what it's all about. Asking, what does a scribe do?
Caught you thinking there.
What exactly does a scribe do for the Brotherhood?
We do everything that the pilots and the soldiers need to keep all of their operations running. All the scientific research, the repairs, the tactical planning, you name it. We do all of the technical work. Of course, I'm a field scribe, so I'm boots on the ground with the soldiers, but I kind of like pulling the trigger every once in a while. Anyway, I won't bore you with any more of the details. You ready to head out on your assignment?
Oh, trust me, it's not boring, Susan. She likes garnering information. Information is power in the right hands. Anyway, yeah, we're ready for the briefing.
Ready.
Great. Let me explain what I need you to do. One of the Brotherhood's most important duties is the recovery and preservation of technology that was lost when the bombs fell. I have a list of locations that contain artifacts we need you to recover in order to have them cataloged and studied by our scribes. Here, this should cover all the information you'll need to find your first artifact. Good luck, and be careful.
And that is kind of disappointing. Artifact retrieval? Not quite the assignment we had in mind. Checking where this artifact may be, but ultimately Susan's not too happy. Her son is just down the road. Diamond City's only but a stone's throw away from here. Pretty much a straight road down. And although the location of the first potential artifact to be retrieved for the Brotherhood isn't too far away, Susan is certainly not going to carry out this assignment. The Monsignor Plaza. We are not going to waste time looking for artifacts to catalogue whilst our son is potentially just down the road in Diamond City. And we're not close enough to the members of this Brotherhood to ask them to provide support and help us or assist us or accompany us down to Diamond City whilst we're looking. So having to make do with the fact that we've had our weapons upgraded, our armour upgraded, that is going to have to suffice in terms of the Brotherhood support for now. Now, if we do find our son and we do have some time on our hands after that, we might come back, check in, and maybe take this Brotherhood of Steel more seriously. Could it be a long-term prospect? Could it be a way of life even? A vocation, a new job of sorts? Time will only tell. But for now, as Susan surveys her former workplace, she's gonna go. But not before resting up first. It's been a long day, and we need to have our batteries recharged and our wits about us. So having rested, and perhaps saying a goodbye or two, I'm on my way, she says. As far as they're concerned, she's off to collect an artifact. But in fact, she's off to find her son. No more distractions. We're armed and we're ready. Lexington, Corvega facility, Ten Pines Bluff, Cambridge Police Station, Brotherhood, ghouls. There've been nothing but distractions. But right now, all that stands between us and this so-called green jewel of the Commonwealth is a straight road down. Stone's throw away it is. And as Susan begins to meander down the remnants of the road, her memory flashing back to what Mama Murphy said. Bright heart, follow the bright heart. So as soon as we get there, that is exactly what we're going to be keeping our eyes peeled for. And speaking of keeping our eyes peeled, we have to keep our eyes peeled here. There's been ghouls galore around here, and mention from the Brotherhood of super mutants. Now we have no idea exactly what those things are, but well, they don't sound like they're going to be popping by for tea anytime soon. Firing great big weapons. So yeah.
Hey.
Susan checking in with Bobby.
Hey.
Lagging
Over here.
lagging behind and acting a bit strange. He's usually one for scampering off ahead and scouting, so
Hey.
showing a bit of concern. Is he all right? Hasn't been injured in any of our previous battles. Perhaps was feeling a touch under the weather. But there is some kind of a post, fraternal post, 115 I believe it was. But no distractions. Everything else at this point can wait. Posts, museums, ice cream parlours, whatever's going to be in our path between here and Diamond City, unless it threatens our life, it's just going to be mentally noted down for another time, because we're looking straight forward. And as Susan makes her way ever closer to Diamond City, a heart fluttering, palpitations, that feeling of unease you get in the pit of your stomach, that nervous anticipation, all beginning to build. Signs of activity down there on some kind of a wrecked boat, but we're not interested. Be they friend, be they foe, right now we couldn't give a monkey's backside, because we are continuing forward until we reach Diamond City. Of course we want to get to Diamond City alive, so perhaps not quite blundering on ahead aimlessly, of course taking our time and keeping an eye out for potential enemies, and we've seen some. Those guys on that boat weren't friendly. Bandits, raiders, some other faction that we don't yet know about. Who knows? And at this point I was taking the opportunity to try and show you some of the perks that I'd picked, because I have leveled up a couple of times and I haven't gone through the perks that I picked, because I picked them off camera. Now we have picked Rifleman. Susan, member of the SWAT team, and therefore has had some use of rifles in the past, and she's using a rifle now. Lawgiver, so her skill will gradually increase as she uses that more and more. But the two main perks that I've recently picked, I picked Sneak quite early on. Of course I mentioned in one of the earlier videos I will be using the Sneak to go along with my sniper rifles, but I've picked Gun Nut and Scrapper. Now when Susan first started out life in the Wasteland, she wasn't very good at DIY, to put it lightly, but Sturgis showed her how useful it could be to salvage materials and use those to upgrade your armor, to upgrade your weapons, to provide yourself with extra survivability. And she's slowly learning. She's no expert, but she's slowly learning. So Gun Nut and Scrapper are perks picked to demonstrate that progression that she is making, allowing her to craft more useful upgrades for her equipment. So that's the perks. And as we get closer to Diamond City, we can obviously hear gunfire. What appears to be several people firing guns. A swinging body there, taking us back to Lexington. We've seen that before. The raiders there, using body pieces as ornaments on tables. Perhaps this could be some kind of a raider attack. But Susan just staying low, taking her time. And will hopefully scout out the situation and not put herself in too much danger. And here we go. She doesn't know who to fire at. Who's friend? Who's foe here? Taking care of the beasts first. Look. And then the Diamond City security guard. Of course, she doesn't know who they are just yet. Mentioning super mutants. And as soon as she hears that, she knows that the super mutants are not the ones to be taken lightly. They are not the friendly ones here. And as she scopes, looks down her scope, she sees them for the first time. Great big green hulking beasts. Great big hulking beasts that like to throw Molotov cocktails at themselves, rather foolishly. I mean, Susan wouldn't do anything like that now, would she? Okay, so there you go. Susan's first brush with super mutants. And, well, to say she'll be a little bit shocked by what she's seen is an understatement. Yeah, great big green beings. Now these people are not attacking.
Damn. Not afraid of mutants, huh? You're that kind of gal.
And there we have it. Bit of friendly talk. Susan decides to have a closer look at just what the hell these things are. Tries to turn it over, get a look at its face. But, well, due to the size of it, she's struggling a wee bit. Not a pretty sight. So whenever you see one of these, shoot on sight, eh? And there we go. Not expecting to find mines in the middle of the road. And unfortunately, because this is not live commentary, you've been deprived of my horrified scream when that happened. Anyway, I didn't save it for a while, so we had to go all the way back from here, so I'll just skip forward. Right, well, we're back again after our little misdemeanor. And Susan taking the time just to check in with these people, find out what the hell was going on, and confirm to her that they are Diamond City guards on patrol, keeping an eye on the outskirts of the area. And that information fills Susan with a tinge of happiness, because, well, this place seems to be quite civilized. They have their own guard patrols. They have their own turrets. Defences set up. This could well be the most well-defended area that we've seen thus far in our travels, and thus, if our son was brought back here, would that be a bad thing? Being brought back to a place like this would surely increase your chances of survival when compared with out there in the wasteland from what we've seen so far with its ghoul and its super mutants. So her spirits have been lifted somewhat. And of course the great big signs pointing Susan in the right direction. Diamond City.
Nothing to see here.
This way. Nothing to see. Well, nothing to see apart from that, what? The great big green jewel.
What do you mean you can't open the gate? Stop playing around, Danny. I'm standing out in the open here for crying out loud.
I got orders not to let you in, Miss Piper. I'm sorry. I'm just doing my job.
Ooh, just doing your job. Protecting Diamond City means keeping me out, is that it? Oh, look, it's the scary reporter.
I'm sorry, but Mayor McDonough's really steamed, Piper. Saying that article you wrote was all lies. The whole city's in a tizzy.
Ugh! You open this gate right now, Danny Sullivan. I live here. You can't just lock me out. You want into Diamond City, right?
I just got here, but yeah.
Shh. Play along. What's that? You said you're a trader up from Quincy? You have enough supplies to keep the general store stocked for a whole month? You hear that, Danny? You gonna open the gate and let us in, or are you gonna be the one talking to crazy Myrna about losing out on all the supply?
Jeez, all right. Don't need to make it personal, Piper. Give me a minute.
Better head inside quick before old Danny catches on to the bluff.
This place, Diamond City. What is it?
Oh, the Green Jewel? She's a sight. Everyone who's anyone in the Commonwealth is from here, settled here, got kicked out of here. A big wall, some power, working plumbing, schools, and some security goons are what make Diamond City the big monster it is. Oh, love it or hate it. You'll see for yourself soon enough. Let's go.
And even more signs. Schools, plumbing, power.
Piper, who let you back inside? I told Sullivan to keep that gate shut. You devious, rabble-rousing slanderer. The level of dishonesty in that paper of yours. I'll have that printer
Is that a
scrapped for
statement, Mr.
parts.
McDonough? Tyrant mayor shuts down the press. Why don't we ask the newcomer? You support the news? Because the mayor's threatening to throw free speech in the dumpster.
Yeah, Susan doesn't want to get involved here.
This really isn't any of my business.
Oh, I didn't mean to bring you into this argument, miss. No. You look like Diamond City material. Welcome to the great green jewel of the Commonwealth. Safe, happy, a fine place to come. Spend your money, settle down. Don't let this muckraker here tell you otherwise, all right?
I'm sure your city's a great place.
Yeah, greatest house of cards in the Commonwealth. Until the wind blows.
Now, was there anything particular you came to our city for?
I'm trying to find someone.
Trying to find someone? Who?
And after surveying this character, this so-called mayor, Susan feeling a little uneasy about him, and thus not going to divulge who she's looking for at this moment in time.
Well, do you have something to say?
That's my business.
Well, whatever you do, don't bother going to Diamond City Security for help.
I've had enough of this, Piper. From now on, consider you and that little sister of yours on notice.
Yeah, keep talking, McDonough. That's all you're good for. A big Diamond City welcome from the mayor. You feel honored yet? Look, I gotta go get settled in, but, stop by my office later. I have an idea for an article you'd be perfect for.
Indeed. Go to Piper's office. Well, as an ex-police woman, high-ranking official, high-ranking police officer, Susan has had training in dealing with the media. Very strange relationship between the media and the police. At the best of times. And suffice to say, she's, well, not taken to liking reporters, generally speaking, from a work standpoint. So we'll see how that relationship develops. Checking in with the security guard here.
You're Sullivan, right?
So, you're that traitor Piper was talking about. Something tells me she's pulled the wool over my eyes again. Am I right?
Yep, you're right, but it was nothing to do with us. Deflecting the question with a question.
So, Piper's done this before?
All the time. Thing is, sometimes she's bluffing, and sometimes there really is a group of 50 raiders just over the hill screaming for blood. So I usually just let her in. Not this time, though. Mayor's on the warpath. Hey, what's brought you into town anyway? Be good to note it down in the logs.
I'm trying to find someone.
Is that so? Who are you looking for?
No, this is. I intended to say none of your business, but I pressed the wrong
An
button.
infant boy. Kidnapped.
Oh, look, I'm sorry, but we're under orders not to get involved in missing person cases. There's a lot of Institute paranoia right now. We can't really risk fanning those flames with official action. What if people panic?
But perhaps Susan's seeing something in him that I haven't seen, and she feels, well, that he's potentially not going to go gabbling to anybody he sees about why we're here. Anyway, we've given him some info, so how about a little info in return? Trying a bit of silver tongue charm here.
You gotta speak up. Deaf in one ear.
I just need a little information, Danny. We can keep this off the record.
Okay. I can at least point you somewhere. Unofficially. When you get inside the city, go to the back, around the market, to an alleyway. There's a couple of bright neon signs. Valentine's Detective Agency. No one likes going there, though, so buyer beware and all that.
Interesting. Bright neon signs, you say?
People don't like the detective agency?
Look, all I can tell you is that we hear a lot of complaints.
That's all the help you got?
Well, that's all you're getting. That's for sure. Now move along.
Oh, God loves a try. Bright neon signs. Bright neon signs, perhaps in the shape of a heart, if Mama Murphy's drugged up sight visiony things are to be believed. And, well, Susan does believe her, because if she didn't, she wouldn't have fed her those drugs in the first place. So here we are, Diamond City. And we have some leads. Detective Agency. Bright neon signs, potentially in the shape of a heart. Susan taking a moment to just drink it all in here.
You've been saying that for weeks and the little girl still keeps cranking. Stop worrying so much. I gotta head into the office. You start whistling if you see any angry politicians coming our way.
Why? Is something wrong? Piper?
If we were to hazard a guess, that's probably Piper's sister.
Are they really human? We have the exclusive.
The mayor mentioned a sister, and she's talking to her, so I assume that's her sister, but we have other fish to fry right now. We're not going to be talking with all and sundry. We are on a mission. We are looking for a bright neon heart. But it's almost difficult to focus when presented with a full-blown civilization here, cooped up in what appears to be a baseball stadium. People chopping meat, people selling papers, an eatery, and even a salon. There's even opportunities here in the wasteland for people to pamper themselves. Some things never change. This isn't exactly the place that Susan had in mind when she envisioned where her son was.
It's that secretary of his, her and her perfect hair.
Mm-hmm. The mayor's secretary. Come on, Ma. I cut her hair myself, and I know human hair.
That's just it, Johnny. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference. If you nicked McDonough with your razor, he'd bleed. Don't mean nothing.
Who needs a haircut? Everyone needs a haircut. Step up.
Sounds like some kind of skepticism there from that old lady. Maybe to do with synths or this so-called institute, maybe?
Hey, swatter, 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 swing, swatter. Protection for sale. Hand-tooled pieces.
We got shops here, people peddling wares. It's a schoolhouse. More importantly, we have an alleyway. Detective. Down here. Looks like we're getting closer.
Sometimes you gotta wonder, does anyone fight back? Institute has to have enemies, right?
What? You mean the railroad? That's a fairy tale, man. They don't exist.
Now, I heard he knows a guy that works.
And Susan's eyes light up like Christmas trees here, because here we have it. Valentine Detective Agency. And a heart. A bright neon heart. This has got to be it.
Newcomer, huh? Talk to Abbott at the wall if you want a history lesson.
Abbott at the wall? I don't have time to speak with the Abbott on the wall. We need to talk to Detective Valentine. See if he's got any answers to our extremely pertinent questions.
Told you your luck wouldn't last forever. His ties. Oh, Nick. The bills. Huh.
Something wrong?
Another stray coming in from the rain. Afraid you're too late. Office is closed.
Now that is not something that Susan wanted to hear.
I know you must be busy, but I won't take much of your time, miss. It's important.
You're right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be rude, but it's just... the detective... he's gone missing.
And that is also something that Susan did not want to hear. Of all the times when to go missing, it's when she arrives with with her questions that need answering.
Don't worry, I can help. Tell me what happened.
Nick was working a case. Skinny Malone's gang had kidnapped a young woman, and he tracked them down to their hideout in Park Street Station. There's an old vault down there that they use as a base. I told Nick he was walking into a trap, but he just smiled and walked out the door like he always does.
Is that so? So if our detective here is missing, we're going to have to find him. So let's get some information and find out where he is.
Who's this Skinny Malone character?
I don't know much about him, but he's from Good Neighbor, and that means he's in the well-pressed suits and machine gun school of thuggery.
You said Malone's from Good Neighbor?
Yeah, it's a tough neighborhood. Northeast a ways. People with power there care about two things: style and body count.
I'll find him. You have my word.
Thank you. Nick should be easy to spot. He's always wearing that old hat and trench coat getup. Please, hurry.